I'm eating my soup in here, staying away from the computer, just in case, I wouldn't want to ruin my computer. I know it's highly unlikely that something would happen. I'd spill this soup all over the place, but I don't want to risk it. In fact, I'll even move down even farther. And I've banished Omar to outside. I'm eating up here. Not allowing him in. You can't have what I'm eating anyway, number one. You know what I mean? And sometimes you just don't want, when you have dogs, you feel like eating in peace and not having them beg the entire time. Especially when you're not even eating what they can have, So I found out something interesting. And obviously, I'm not a cook. I make no claims to being a cook. I'm not a cook, period. Okay? I can cook if I want to. I can cook basic things. But I follow the recipe. I know exactly. Which I hope used to. You're like, why are you following that? I'll give you an. I hope you should say, Donald's mom, why are you following that recipe exactly? Well, guess what? Sometimes you really should follow the recipe exactly, because she made stuffing for us from a box and didn't follow the recipe exactly, and the stuffing came out terrible. And I said, I'm going to try to do this, and I'll follow the recipe, and mine came out perfect. I'm not saying you always need to follow the recipe when you're a good cook. And she definitely was a good cook, but, sometimes you just want to, if you're dealing with something you've never done, you don't want to change it too much, particularly when it's like a boxed stuff. Because they give you specific instructions, and I follow them to the T. I can't remember exactly what she did, but when she was doing it, I knew the stuffing was not going to come out good, and it didn't. It came out terrible, and she hated it. So it's not like I hated it and she loved it, or even pretended to love it. She hated it. So when we decided to make it again, we followed the instructions. I don't know if we both did it, but we followed the instructions. I said, we could try this again. I bet it'll be delicious if you follow the instructions, and they did come out delicious. At least as delicious as a boxed stuffing can be, So anyway, back to me, my lack of culinary skills. I have purchased slowly, not all at once, loads of simply organic spices. I had spent hundreds of dollars on spices at my mom's, so they weren't organic anyway, but I'm sure if her house is sold or whatnot, they'll just make it into Marion's hands, Anything she can use or sell will make it into her hands. Like my mother's awesome 42-inch screen TV. You think if my mom couldn't have that, she wouldn't want me to have it? Whatever. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Spices. I actually, but see, I don't do it with my whole giant 12 quart or whatever it is stock pot full of soup. And actually it filled up the whole stock pot and the whole slow cooker, so it's even more soup than that. I have to blend it all together. I haven't gotten that far yet. It's a slow process. Plus I told you I spent all day Tuesday going to a holistic dentist. Of course spent, hours and hours traveling there and hours back and waiting and whatnot. But I actually, in my individual bowl, I add every spice I have. Not the sweet spices like cinnamon or something, or nutmeg or allspice, but all my regular spices, I add a little bit of everything, and I didn't know if it would taste good, but it actually does. And I know I seem like fascinated because I am. Because when I was at Joe's, he's a cook. He can cook if he wants to, and he made the most delicious soup. But he learned from his mom how to cook, how to make soup. And I told you, I just make lazy man soup. I don't cut the vegetables up, and then I just blend them all together. I boil the shit out of them. And of course, I don't throw any of the broth, so I make a powerhouse nutrients. I mean, this is just packed nutrients, and I make it with spring water, of course. But he said that he learned that the key to good soup is the base, you know. And he would spend hours making his absolutely incredibly delicious soup, you know, doing the whole deal with organic, you know, vegetable cubes. Because he doesn't eat meat just like I don't. And he's been doing that for a hell of a lot longer than I have. And garlic, onions, pepper, sauteing it, sauteing it all. And then, you know, doing all the whole 9 yards. And believe me, it took him hours to do it. And it was absolutely delicious. I have neither I have the time. I don't have the inclination to do something like that. So I make my lazy man soup, and it works for me. And it actually, because it has so many vegetables, it takes me hours too. But I don't have to cut up vegetables, which I hate doing. That's something I just despise doing. My soup actually has more nutrients than his. Of course. Anything that has like 15 vegetables, organic vegetables in it, you know. And yeah, regardless of what you believe to the contrary, I really don't care. Organic is better. Our soil is depleted. Everything else, organic stuff is better for you and is more nutritious. Even if you set aside the pesticide factor and all that. Or the genetically modified organisms that you don't find, you know, organic's better for you. Just besides those things, it's better for you nutrition-wise. But yeah, I put, because he did his soup, I wrote down how he did it, and he picked specific spices depending on what kind of soup he's going to have, and he even explained it to me, but I don't remember. He says, well, this is this kind of soup, so I use blah, 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 blah. Not me. I'm not a cook. I have no idea. I put every spice I own into my soup, and it tastes good to me. It tastes delicious. I, of course, put some of my, you know, my Himalaya crystal salt, of course, because you have to have salt. I love salt. You have to have salt. But then I put every spice I own, and if I get more spices, I'll put them too, and it tastes good to me. And I used to put a whole bunch of spices in the one I made for my mom, and for both of us, and she loved it too. I definitely put cayenne and red pepper flakes, you know. Gives it a kick, and it's good for you to have red pepper and stuff. It speeds up your metabolism. So that. I told you before, I keep my vegetables I have to blend them up today. I didn't feel like doing it yesterday. I fasted all day Monday. I started cooking all my vegetables Sunday, and I cooked them Monday too. Cooked them in the slow cooker overnight, cooked them in the stock pot. And then obviously I was leaving all day Tuesday from early in the morning to late at night, so, you know, I couldn't do anything Tuesday, but I got them all into containers. That was Tuesday. So now I definitely have to blend them all up today, and I'll have soup for another month or so. I believe this soup lasted me a month, maybe more. It's delicious too. This is spring water and apple cider vinegar. I bought that ProPure system to turn, that was almost $300, to turn, it was like $250, whatever it was, to turn, regular tap water into, to get rid of everything, all the contaminants in it, supposedly including fluoride. I don't know. It says it, but yeah, I used part of the $1,700 that I stole from my mother to buy this thing that was going to be for both my mom and I, to not have to buy the spring water, to have water to cook. You can just endlessly turn tap water into, non-contaminated water. Not have to buy all the spring water and pay for it and make sure you get it, and that it's heavy and you have to find friends because we don't, neither my mom nor I have a car drive, all this crap, and I haven't even used it yet. Have my roommate help me put it together. So I know a lot of people, wonder. I mean, people have been asking me over the years, sometimes cruelly, of course, on the internet, and sometimes just inquisitively, why I do this. Well, think about it. Why does anybody do anything? Isn't it, I do this because it's more enjoyable to me than being invisible. It's not rocket science. Okay? I do it because I know, and I know she's not alone, but it's just that people, there'd be many more if they were aware of my existence, many more Auntie Mary, but Marianne wishes with all her heart, whatever, that I would just sit back and be this good little mentally ill woman, what she deems me as, and you know what I mean? So it's defiance, it's refusal. Doing this, all of this, is my refusal to just sit back and be this good little mentally ill woman, you know what I mean? That Marianne wants me to be, clearly. I mean, that's a given. Has always wanted me to be. She found out I was doing phone sex for a living years ago. I don't even know how she found out. But in any case, doing phone sex is not it's not like murdering somebody. You know what I mean? But whatever. And she's like, and when she wrote me this, and she's like, I'm sure your mother wouldn't bother. And my mother doesn't give a shit. My mother wanted to know how she could do phone sex and make some extra money, but she wouldn't be able to do that. You have to have a certain. She wouldn't be able to. Just trust me on that one. You have to. My mother's not an actress. You have to be an actress, serious actress. Anyway, all of this, and it's not just this. It's anything. It's painstaking putting all the pictures of my family out on Flickr. Okay, how do you think I did that? I spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, both in LA and here in Massachusetts when I was in that shelter and I had nothing better to do during the day for all day long while you had to leave. Days at a time, all of my old pictures. There's no way to get there's no way anyone can. I don't care how much money you have. You cannot get your old pictures, your old ones that, they're in a photo album that you took a long time ago with a regular camera that you printed out from film or whatever. You can't get that on the internet, no matter how rich you are, without scanning them. Okay? And of course someone rich can pay someone to do it, and they could probably have a faster thing than I spend hours at CVS. You do 200 pictures at a time. And the machine crashed on me before. And then all my time was lost. That was not fun. So the next time I did it, I told the manager, and I said, you know, this crashed to me last time, and I wasn't happy. I lost all that. It was all that time for nothing. Hours and hours and hours of doing this, and it crashed to me. And the manager was cool. He's like, well, split it. Well, we won't charge you anymore. We'll give you an extra disc. We'll split it up because the machine does crash and whatnot. But you know, can't guarantee that a CVS around here will feel the same way. But I can guarantee you, if it crashes on me, the next time that, you know, they'll have to reimburse me, and then I'll lose all that time. But again, I have nothing but time. I'm not working, so. And then I'll say, well, you know, this happened to me in LA years ago, and that manager just, you know, because they know their machine crashes and I'm scanning so many pictures at once, you allow 200, but you know your machine can't handle it probably at once. It needs a break. Maybe you would do what they did and let me split it up into 2 discs, 100 on each, you know. I don't know. That's the only way to get your old pictures on the internet. Just about all of how many were there, I don't know. A lot. Hundreds and hundreds. They're all on Flickr. Okay? Because I took the time to do that. And I did it, and I'm glad I did it. I still have some left to do, but so many are on Flickr. Okay? And they're safe. They're not just on Flickr, they're also on flash drives, they're also on my computer. But they have to be on flash drives too, because the computer can die on you, and then that's it. All your stuff is lost. So everything of mine's also on flash drives. Various flash drives that I had the money to buy, because I got $17,000 back to pay from Social Security. So yeah, I do it. It's my refusal to just sit back and be the good little mentally ill woman that Marion wants me to be, and that I know, were they aware of my existence, that hell of a lot of other people on this planet would want me to be. Okay? I refuse to just sit back and play nice, I guess. I like to share my thoughts and my whatever, you know. It doesn't really matter, because I mean, I like to do it, so I do it. I mean, that's, you know. I know if more people, I know, and that's due to I have a lot of enemies out there, people I don't even know about, or if they knew about me, I'd have even more enemies due to my beliefs. I don't even know what I believe. All that I do know for sure, all that I know for sure is that I do not, in any manner whatsoever, adhere to the philosophies espoused by the various human beings I've encountered from the moment I was very young, who have tried, desperately tried, mind you, to shove their organized religion beliefs, you know, down my throat. Okay? So, shoved it. I definitely don't, wherever I believe, I don't at all adhere to the philosophies of those people, you know. The philosophies espoused, English means you're using the big words, espoused by, you know, those various human beings, including human beings in my family, you know, who, from the moment I was very young, have desperately tried to shove organized religion down my throat, period, okay? So, for that reason alone, I piss a lot of people off, and would piss even more people off were they even aware of my existence. And that's okay. You know, the more people who are aware of me and my radical beliefs about existence and whatnot, the more people would hate me. Or there would be more people who would hate me. But I'm small potatoes. I mean, I do YouTube, big deal, you know. I do have close to 250,000 hits. You guys just don't know that because over 3,000 of my videos were on private. But if they weren't, if I suddenly took them all off private, and you saw my lifetime views, right now it's at 228,000. So, I'm getting up there. And it's fun. I don't know. I'm not hurting anybody. But that's why I do it. I mean, think about it. You may or may not be aware of this. You may never even heard of Sylvia Plath, but nevertheless, and I know this because my friend had both her unabridged and her abridged, that of course her husband, you know, didn't publish till long after her death or something or other. But she kept a journal right up until very shortly, according to my friend, before she committed suicide. Because right up, people who commit suicide, you know, they don't actually, until they actually do it, they don't know for sure they're going to do it, you know. Just like I don't know if I go outside today, I might walk down the street and cross the street and get hit by a car or something. They don't know for sure they're going to commit suicide until they're actually in the process of doing it. And even people who commit suicide a lot of times want their thoughts known. They want the world to know why they've decided to commit suicide, you know. And Sylvia Plath kept a journal. And incidentally, there's no question that she, just like, you know, there's controversy and questions and whatnot of whether Marilyn committed suicide or not. I tend to believe that she didn't, but in any case, but there's no question, Sylvia Plath definitely committed suicide, and she had loads of problems, but her problems did not in any manner whatsoever change the fact that she was a fucking creative genius, okay? So, you know, and even the most depressed people who can't stand existence, who think about death, who think about dying, who constantly, you know, ponder over the idea of committing suicide, and then maybe don't do it for whatever reason, or, you know, put it off, or, you know, still want to be known, they want to be heard, okay? I mean, they want people to know why they feel the way they do. Especially, just like you especially when you feel the way I do and the way others feel. I just don't know any of them personally. I know they exist, damn well know. And probably in massive numbers that I couldn't even fathom. A lot of people keep everything secret, but in any case, those people want to, they especially want, like I wanted, always have tried, to no avail. I mean, even Donald said on the goddamn analysis of Laura P. tape that he sent to me after I stayed with him for 3 weeks in California, and then I wound up moving there, regrettably so. Lost myself in the process. I nearly lost my life, but definitely lost myself. And only found myself again because I went crazy and started believing a rock star was in love with me. Oh well, life goes on. Anyway, even he said, you know, about talking about my family, or even people in general, the normal, normative people, of which he said, you're never going to be, the best you can do is pretend. He's right. I'm good at pretending. I'm a natural-born actress. They're never going to understand you, Laura, okay? But we still try. we still try, people who feel the way that, we try to get the normative people, you know, like my cousin who I wrote, you know, it strikes me funny, you should ask about, you know, she's a devout Christian and has been for quite some time, and she's just, and she tried to shove God down my throat, it just didn't work, and, yeah, whatever. But like Donald said, I told you, he was a monster, but he was a brilliant monster. And not just because he was able to analyze me. Believe me, I fucked enough idiots to know the difference, okay? I went home with enough men that just didn't have a brain in their head, you know? I could tell by talking to them. I played the little sex kitten to get what I wanted. So yeah, Donald, probably not now. Think about it. He turned into an alcoholic and he's killing brain cells left and right. But no, he could talk about anything, politics, religion, anything you could think of, and in an intelligent manner, okay? He was really, really smart. He majored in philosophy in school and minored in English. You know? So I don't say he's smart just because he could analyze me. I say he's smart because he was able to lure me with his mind. His devious, twisted. I think I heard before, a lot of people, more people do than don't, even leave a note to explain why they kill themselves. But a lot of people do leave notes, and they do it so whoever is left behind can know, even if it's someone they did it out of rage, anger, whatever. This is why I killed myself, you know. So we're here, and for those of us who don't accept easy answers, we don't know why we're here. We like to make our thoughts known, you know. I don't know. Delicious. I added some organic mozzarella cheese to it. I don't buy cheese too often. It's probably a good thing. All that crap is my weakness. Just like it's a lot of people's weakness. This has some organic red pepper hummus from Caesar's. Organic Horizon brand sour cream. And some Bragg olive oil, some Sasha Inchi oil. Sashi Incha. I forget how it's pronounced. Just a little bit, you know. A little bit of that, a little bit of sour cream. You know, a little squirt of oils. Because remember, we're just starting with pure vegetables, so. And then a can of organic garbanzo beans added to it. And then that little bit of cheese I had left over. You know, Omar, it's scary having Omar. Omar is 7 years old and will still eat anything he finds on the floor. And it's nerve-wracking. But I can only do what I can do, you know. Even living with my mom, she just was gradually losing it and you know, losing it, and she would leave stuff that was very dangerous from her. She'd leave her sharp gum picks on the floor. She'd drop them and not realize, you know. my roommate now is not that way, but think about it. His dog doesn't put everything in his mouth. Most dogs don't. I can try to Omar-proof someone else's house. But in the end, I just have to leave it up to fate and hope nothing happens to Omar. You know what I mean? If I see a nail on even at my mom's, if I see something on the ground, I pick it up. Here, the same thing. But you can't, you know, I mean, I've told my new roommate, I've said, you know, Omar will eat, you have to be careful. Omar will eat anything he finds on the floor. But people are human and people drop things, people make mistakes. You know what I mean? It's, even the other night, I didn't see anything on my bed. I let him in here and I didn't have to. And my bed was cleared off, but I had dumped stuff on it and I didn't even see anything on it. And hopefully, he didn't die, so it must have been something he ate that was probably something I had taken on Tuesday with me, you know, a piece of food or something. But he'd eaten it too quickly for me to even stop him. So if it had been something that would kill him, I mean, you can only do what you can do. Even when you have a kid, accidents happen with kids, you know. At least when you have a kid, the mom, you know, they decide together, you know, we need to childproof this house, and they're you know, they're on the same page. I can't just move into this guy's huge house and expect it to be perfectly Omar-proof. I can try, I can do it the best I can, but in the end, I have to just hope nothing bad happens to Omar, you know. It was the same thing with Donald and Hope. I mean, they were both nonchalant about Omar. Donald left bleach on the floor, and Omar drank it and threw up. Ha ha, Donald laughed. I was livid. I can give you so many examples, but I'm not going to because I have that in about 100 videos. All on private. Yeah, it's kind of nerve-wracking having an Omar. Because he just, you know, my mom's dog didn't do that. Angel didn't do that. Omar acts like he's starving, and he's not. I feed him. He gets, and I feed him the best. You know, I spend a lot of money on that dog. I take good care of him. I give him the best food. He's eating Blue Wilderness now, duck and sweet potato. I'm buying him all natural, you know, Pet's Life. Stuff for his teeth. I spend over $400, close to $500, getting his teeth done. I get him HeartGuard Plus. I get him Frontline Plus. But you know, most people don't do that for their pets, and he doesn't. I mean, I told you, I need to be vigilant about making sure that I do not leave, and he doesn't leave, or I leave notes or reminder, just have to be careful. I don't want Omar eating kibbles and bits. The top ingredient is corn. Kibbles and bits, I've got to check the dog food advisor. I bet you anything, Kibbles and Bits only has at most a 2-star rating if the top ingredient is corn. I already put the Frontline Plus on Omar because we had some warm days. I'm hoping that he puts stuff on his dog, but you know, if money's tight or what, I can't force him to do anything, but I can see the future. And if it gets warm out and if people just like, if you postpone putting the stuff on the dog, if this place comes over him with fleas or something, I'll be pissed. I'll be really pissed. But it's not my place to tell this guy to do anything when it comes to his dog. I can only take care of Omar best I can, and that's all I can do. You know? But I'll be pissed if I'm living here and I mean, and it becomes infested with fleas. Omar won't get any diseases or anything because Omar has Frontline Plus. But you know, if I started getting bit by fleas because he doesn't, you know, or or whatever, I don't know. I'm just saying, I tend to be anal. Donald said that about me, but sometimes it's good to be anal. This door to my bedroom does not close correctly, okay? You think it's closed, the dogs have pushed it open. Isn't it better, even if, the other day I thought that I had closed it. I had closed it. Unfortunately, I hadn't pushed on it, and if I leave for the whole day and the dogs get in my bedroom, and if my bedroom has stuff on it, because I don't always keep my bedroom perfect, and Omar could die, isn't it better to be anal? I mean, people can put you down for being anal, but some people are too lax. You know what I mean? They're too lax about anything. I mean, people who are living, subsisting on just junk food, on fast food, or what, you're not getting any nutrients into your body. I'm not talking gibbly goop, you know, you're not. You think wilted lettuce on those, you know what I mean? You're not getting nutrients if you're living off of fast food or something, you know? You're not getting any nutrients into your body, and eventually it'll catch up to it. It might take a long time, it might take a short time. I mean, my cousin's friends, whatever, I mean, he dropped dead of a heart attack at age 40, you know. And then other people, you know, can drink and smoke and do whatever and live to be 100, but I'm definitely anal, admittedly so. I'm admittedly anal. And sometimes it's really good to be that way, especially when it comes to certain things, like when I know my dog will get into bad things. I have to look around the floor all the time. I have to double check myself. I have to make sure that now that I've realized, because I didn't realize at first, and I'm wondering how I close the door, how the dogs get in, yeah, I can push open, and then when I tried it myself, you know, I'm learning, like, fuck. So now I know I have to do it a couple times sometimes, and the door doesn't close, well, good, you know. So there are times that it's good to be anal, especially when it comes to your safety or the safety of someone or, you know, an animal you love or whatnot. So we had we had a warm day, and I got scared. Some vets, some recommend you should give the flea stuff all year long, just because there can be, but I don't do that. Even my vet, the old one, said, you know, you could stop during the winter months, but we had that warm day. It almost approached 60 or something, and I gave Omar his, you know. But remember, that stuff is expensive. Depending on what you buy, but, you know, I don't know, I just know how people are. People will think, oh, nothing will happen, or I can postpone it a little, and then you take a chance, and then your house is overrun with fleas, so. Omar's covered in any case. He has his stuff, he won't get bit, but I would never say anything to this guy. It's just like I clean stuff up in this house or whatnot. I wouldn't tell him to do it, but he also, even if it insults him or what, you know, I wouldn't tell him to do it, but even this is how I feel, and if you disagree, well, I don't care. I'm not living here for free. I'm paying rent. Am I paying exactly half? No, but he responded to my ad. My ad said my limit was $600 to pay, and that the most I could possibly pay was $650. Okay, he responded to my ad. He had another roommate here, and because I said, when I found out what the rent was, I'm like, wow, you don't even charge half. He's like, no. He's like, most people can't afford that. I'm like, okay. And I try to make up for it. Like I said, I stocked us up on I bought a giant thing of plastic bags. I bought us a garbage can because all he had was this little thing that was too low to the ground, and I knew Omar would get into it. You know, I have to be proactive. But if I want to clean stuff, and if my roommate if he's not mature enough to realize, I'm not telling him to do it, but if I wish to do it, sure, he could take it as, well, that's, you know, she's saying, you know, why is it like this? I can give you an example. I'm not gonna betray anybody or whatnot. I've never understood. I'm just gonna talk hypothetically here. I've never, ever, ever understood. It's bad enough you encounter litter when I walk all around. I find people throw stuff on the ground. I never do, by the way, ever, ever, ever. But people do. They're pigs. They litter. They'll drink a McDonald's and throw it on the ground, whatever, okay? Why would people do it to their own yard? Why would you turn your own yard why would you throw trash in your own yard? Boggles the mind. Boggles the mind. So hypothetically speaking, because I'm not going to betray anybody, if I, once it gets warmer, would hypothetically want, if there was, and it could have blown from, maybe we have next door neighbors that are dirty, you know, that throw trash in their own yard, and it blows into our yard, it doesn't matter. If I want to take my own time and go and pick up all the trash, because it just builds up. You know what I mean? You leave trash, and more it just builds up. It never goes away. It sits there. If I want to take the time to pick up that trash, and he doesn't, and I have every right to. I'm living here now. If I, hypothetically speaking, I want to live where I don't want trash in my yard. It's bad enough I walk everywhere and see trash everywhere. Why do I have to have it in my yard where I'm paying a good deal of rent? Not exactly half, but at least a third, you know. I'm paying more than a third. A third would be $5.33. Paying more than a third, and plus, like I said, I stock us up on dish detergent, on soap, on bags, on sponge. I bought all that kind of crap, so that adds up too. And paper towels, and toilet paper. You need a lot of toilet paper. I already told you why. So yeah, you can take it the wrong way. Anybody can take things the wrong way, but tough shit. Take it any way you want. If I want to clean up, hypothetically speaking, even if it wasn't you that did it, why do I have to, why can't I pick up the trash that shouldn't even be in someone's yard? Obviously I can't go over to my neighbor's yard and pick up trash from their yard, you know, but I can, you know what I mean. I have every right to do that. I'm living here now. I'm paying rent. And hypothetically speaking, that's what I plan to do if it ever gets warmer out. And just between you and me, I don't understand why anybody would want trash in their yard. You know, it's one thing if you have things like a table or chairs or whatever, but I'm talking trash. I'm talking about a paper cup or a plastic jug bottle, water, you know what I mean? I don't want to go outside and walk Omar in the yard and look at trash. I don't want to, and I don't have to. Does me doing it remind the people that live all around here? This isn't a house. It's not an isolated house. It's near other houses. It's an apartment. It's attached to all this crap. Does it remind them? Does it maybe put a little jab into them that she cares about this trash in our yard and we don't? Yeah, tough shit. Don't care. Okay? I'm not going to play nice. It's just like I told him outright. I told my roommate from day one, I'm going to put a note up on the wall. I just haven't done it. I do not want Omar eating your dog's dog food. The first ingredient is corn. I didn't say it's shitty dog food, you shouldn't feed your dog, but I don't want Omar eating it. And I have every right as a rent payer, I live here, you know, I'm paying rent, to say something like that. I have every right in the world to. I I have every right. And I did. Are there people who wouldn't say a damn thing? Yeah, my mom's one of them. Sadly. My mom's as much of a sheeple as you could come. She doesn't want to rock the boat, doesn't want to make waves, doesn't want to say boo to anybody over this tiniest thing. So of course that was a bone of contention between us because I'm the opposite. But I told him. And has he forgotten and left the food down, and has Omar gotten into it because of that? Yeah. Have I not paid attention? And yes. But for the most part, I've been here how long now? Since February 8th? For the most part, Omar has not gotten a hold of that food. And I got better as I learned, you know. I learned to make sure, because nobody's perfect. I wouldn't yell at my roommate or say anything if he forgets. Of course I wouldn't. But I will tell him, you left your dog's food down and Omar got into it. But I have to be proactive. See, if Omar's with me, as long as I remember that the food might be done and don't just let Omar loose in the morning, like, okay, Omar, you can run loose while I go to the bathroom, and then Omar's downstairs eating the food. No, see, I had to learn too. It's a two-way street, okay? But yeah, hypothetically speaking, whether it's trash, whether he did it, whether his landlord did it, whether the neighbor, you know, I can't go into someone else's yard, unfortunately, as I would, and clean up their trash. But I sure as fuck, if their trash blows into my yard now, I live here now, I'm paying rent, okay? This is my home. Joe asked me, he's like, are you just, are you renting out a room, or are you sharing the place? I'm like, no, I'm sharing the place. I don't even know what that means when you just rent out a room. I mean, how do I guess you're not allowed into the living room or something, and maybe you share the kitchen, and I wouldn't like that. No, he's my buddy. And as long as he doesn't hit on me or whatever, we're cool. And I don't think he'll hit on me. I'm laid back anyway. You know, I wear little tiny shorts in the summer and whatnot. I mean, if he said you look nice or something, that's not hitting on me. You know what I mean. But I don't want him walking around in his underwear either. I came home the other night late from my dentist appointment, and it's winter. I would expect that in the middle of the summer, and he's lounged out watching TV, and just in little things and no shirt. And I teased him. I'm like, you're not in your underwear, are you? He's like, no, these are shorts. But actually, if we want to be technical here, guys, aren't your boxer shorts are underwear? They're the same thing. But as long as they're not like, you know, obvious underwear, white skivvies or whatnot, you know, it's cool. It's fine. I just don't look too closely in case they're loose and something might be hanging out, you know. But that can happen. It's his house. He wants to do what he wants. He's not walking around naked. Joe exercised, and sometimes he exercised, and, you know, he's my ex, and I'm still attracted to him in a lot of ways. So he was exercising. He's in good shape. He's like 10 years older than me, and he's in incredible shape because he does all the granite and everything. And he wears, they're not underwear. They're little things, you know, they leave nothing to the imagination. They're those little exercise things like a Speedo or something. You know. So yeah, I feel if I want to do something, like even if I want to wash his dishes for him that he's left in the sink, I'm not upset you left him in the sink. I leave dishes sometimes in the sink. Because but he's done it for me too. When I've left dishes, he's washed mine. But when I've washed his, he's like, you don't have to wash the dishes. I'll wash it. I'm like, it's okay. My God, you do so much for me. You take me everywhere that I want to go, you know, any of the stores to get these, to Walmart to get these stupid curtains. I'm going to have to return them because they suck. But they're okay for now. They're better than nothing. You take me grocery shopping. You don't condemn me that Omar goes to the bathroom on the floor. You don't condemn Omar. You love Omar. You let Omar up in your lap all the time, not because I would want you to, but because you love Omar. I mean, I can do stuff. I can wash some dishes for you. You know. Last night he said, because we didn't have a toaster here. I didn't have to have a toaster. He had this disgusting toaster oven. It wasn't even his, and it wasn't clean at all. He said, yeah, that was my roommate's. I'm like, yeah, it needs to be thrown away. It costs $40 to buy a brand new toaster oven. You want it to, I'll buy a new one. But I bought a regular toaster. Last night he said, can I use your toaster? Or can I borrow your toaster for a second? Of course you can use my fucking toaster. My God, you don't have to ask. Anything I buy you can use. He asked if he could use my toaster. It was the cutest thing. He's a nice guy, but hypothetically speaking, when it gets warmer, I'm gonna clean up the yard. And it's not necessarily from us or him or them or, you know, I'm looking next door and I wish I could go clean up their yard. I think things have blown into this yard because they're kind of on the side, but I can get away with cleaning them up. I can't go into someone else's yard, unfortunately. Wish I could. I'll probably wear gloves. I'm sure I will wear gloves. And I'm going to pick up any trash I see. I don't want to look at the trash. It's bad enough walking everywhere and I have to see people litter. I don't want to look at it in my own yard. And it is my yard. And that's what I'm going to do. Hypothetically speaking. If there's trash. Maybe I'm making it all up. But that's the thing with me. People will either believe what I say or not believe me. I was thinking about this too because I know Marion would never believe it. And I know anybody who hates me would never believe it. But I'm telling you, if Omar had not been a part of the equation, I would have never, ever come back to Massachusetts. Do I love my mom? Sure. But why would I want to come back here when it's 6 months out of the fucking year practically? It's freezing. I mean, we're spring and it's still freezing. Oh, I want it warm. Yesterday was awful. Yesterday was windy and cold. And it was in the 30s, but it felt, it might have been, it was so windy, it may as well have been 20, you know. It was freezing. I couldn't stand it. Yeah, I love my mom. Yeah, my mom is here. Remember, I wasn't having anything to do with the rest of my family. So my mom's here, but I hate the cold, and I lived apart from my mom all those years anyway. Why would I have ever come back here to where my mother, who I love, is attached at the hip to my enemy? Never would I have come back here. I would have applied for Social Security Disability as my caseworker from the Emergency Domestic Violence Shelter, who had me get a restraining order against Dawn, had me try, and I succeeded. Encouraged me to try, and I succeeded. I would have stayed in LA. Now, Marion would never believe that. To Marion, oh no, I wanted to come back here and live off my mom for free. No. I would have stayed in LA, where it's warm, and where I was going through, I was in a transitional housing place, you know, where they only take as much income as you have. So if I'm just getting welfare, GR, $200 a month, they would take a third of that, you know. And then if I got Social Security Disability, they would take more. They go based on your income, you know. And probably I wouldn't stay there if I got, you know, if I'd gotten, I would never stay there, obviously, you know, but that's how it works. And I went through to the classes, and I did this and I did that. I would have lost Omar for good. He would have been put in a new home. My mom didn't want to see that happen. She said it. I knew Marion wouldn't let me come there. I mean, I was like, and my mom's like, well, tough luck. You're my daughter, and I want, yeah. she could talk big 3,000 miles away, but then look what happened when I arrived here. Yeah, okay. Easy to talk big over the phone, Mama, but then when push comes to shove, you're terrified of Marion and terrified of this and that and whatnot. No, I would never have come here. It was all for Omar's sake, so I could have him, you know, so I wouldn't have to, so he wouldn't have to, I'd already taken him, you know, we'd been through hell, and but Marion would never believe that. None of my enemies would ever believe that, and that's fine. I am not here. We'll end with where I began. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. You'll either believe what I say is the truth or you won't. I'm here to simply express myself. I'm here because I like doing it, because I refuse to just sit back and play nice and be the good little mentally ill woman that my Aunt Marion and numerous others whom I'm unaware of, but I can imagine they're all out there, want me to be. The end. That's the bottom line. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't understand why I do this. It doesn't matter if I hate myself, or you're thinking, well, if you hate yourself, why would you want to do this to begin with? I don't know. Sylvia Plath committed suicide, yet kept a journal right up until she committed suicide, just about. Joe told me she pretty much kept that journal, you know, right up until. Because even if you intend to kill yourself a lot of times, you still want to express yourself, express why you feel the way you do about yourself or the world or whatnot. It's just human nature. We're here, okay? That's the bottom line. We're here, and, you know, in the end, that's the bottom line. So this is what I do. And obviously, if my life ever changed and I started, no, that's not going to happen. I was going to say dating or whatnot, yeah. The chances of that happening are slim to none. I can imagine all kinds of crap, though. I can imagine all kinds of things about everything. But even anything, if my life changed, then I would, you know, I would stop doing this, you know, or I would cut way back on doing it. So there you have it. I need to go get more soup. I should probably call Cheryl. So we found out that my mom, Cheryl hinted around that she thought they were saying maybe my mom, I guess she heard that from my mom's social worker. She didn't hear it from them. They can't tell her shit. But a urinary tract infection, I don't know. I called the patient line, and the girl answered and told me, your mom's not here. Where is she? Oh, she's in the hospital. I'm like, oh. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. If I ask them, they won't tell me. I'm like, oh, I know that. At least you told me something. You know. She meant that I can't find out where. You know. Of course, they're not going to say where. I was lucky she even told me that much. Depending on who answered, they wouldn't know anything. You know. She happened to know that my mom was in the hospital. Someone else might not even know that. You know. Because I said, for how long? And she said 2 or 3 days. I'm thinking, I called, if it can't be 3 days, because I called 3 days ago, and the guy said she'd been sleeping all day, you know, so, I don't know. I definitely need to go get more soup, though. I want to make my shake. Oh, by the way, in regards to that removing my silver fillings, if I had the money, I would do it in a heartbeat. I don't have the money. But this dentist, and maybe Yahoo Answers could shed some light on this, I don't know. You just never know with Yahoo Answers, but I asked, and she was like, you know, a holistic dentist, I guess, is I don't know, he found, and it's a top-rated place. I know that they're not like some slimy, you know, trying to get your money or whatnot. And he found cracks, and even the woman who went over my treatment plan, you know, and I told him, like, I have no money, you know, but you can split it up and whatnot, but, and I found cracks in a couple of my back teeth, 2 of the teeth that are right near where I got my wisdom tooth out. And I want to know what causes those, and who knows what causes them, you know. And then he said one of the teeth was even chipped off a little bit. And my first question, of course, is going to be, this just didn't happen recently. I just went to the dentist. How come they didn't? You know, because remember, I moved in with my mom, and then I went to a new dentist. And I also, when I was in the shelter, went to a dentist, and, you know, for the poor people. But I expect that. But from this top-rated dentist, from where I was living with my mom, why didn't they notice the cracks in my teeth? But a holistic dentist, you know, is different. I don't know. In any case, he put that as a priority, even above getting my silver, my amalgams, fillings for them that are from when I was a kid, removed. There's cracks in 2 of my back teeth, and I guess that's not a good thing. You get decay in there. Plus, he said one of the pieces of tooth is chipped off. I didn't even know. So that is a top priority, and it won't be it won't be thousands of dollars. Oh, by the way, this chipped tooth only had to be filled. I didn't need a crown on it, because that would have been a lot of money. Even at a regular dentist, a crown is like $1,200, okay? Of course, at a holistic dentist, it would be more. I mean, not double or something, but it'd still be a lot more. But I didn't need a crown, so that's good. So I think I'll put off, I have to, I don't have a choice, I'll put off getting the 4 silver fillings removed until such time, maybe in the future, that I have money somehow. There's a thing, you know, and it's in all states. I look at it periodically. It's called Odd Job Nation. I was looking at it in California. I was looking at it here in Massachusetts when I moved in with my mama. It's all odd jobs. Sometimes you can make money doing different things. I might check that out too. I don't know. But I didn't need a crown, and yeah, I probably will. I can cut back in other ways. I mean, not like I smoke cigarettes. I rarely drink. I don't go out or do anything entertainment-wise, you know. I probably will get those teeth, those 2 that have the cracks. The one is chipped, I guess, a little bit in the way back, because cracks allow decay in, and it could get a lot worse. Why my regular dentist didn't find that, I do not know. Maybe regular dentists don't care about cracks in teeth. I don't know. But that I will do, and I can do it. If I had got an angel, I was going to pay $400, you know, give or take, to get her teeth done like I did for Oma, you know, under anesthesia and all that crap. So I can take care of my teeth. Oh, and all those organic stuff that I buy, I told you about. I buy organic food from this place also. I buy organic products. And I can tell you firsthand, because I also remember when I was with Joe, I went to Whole Foods, I went to the co-op, and I've been in supermarkets that sell organic stuff, like from Kiss My Face and Tom's and Burt's Bees and whatnot, okay? VitaCost, VITACOST, is fantastic. I can vouch for VitaCost. I get stuff so much cheaper than I've seen it in stores, even in natural stores and in regular stores and whatnot. So yeah, I still do my organic, because in the long run I haven't gotten sick. I'm healthier. I didn't get sick at Joe's, not once. I haven't gotten sick all winter, not at all. Okay, so I got to be doing something right. I have to be doing something right. I spend my money on food and organic stuff, you know. I'm not going to buy any clothes this summer. I'll wear what I have from last summer. Or if I did buy clothes, it won't be much. Maybe, you know, I would maybe buy one new pair of shorts and one new top. But I'm not going to go all out and buy clothes, no. Because I have to concentrate on getting my teeth fixed. And I still want to keep up with the organic, you know. I showed you all that stuff in my bureau, but I showed you like 3 different toothpastes. See, I stock up because VitaCost has things where you get like 25 off of whatever, or 25 off if you spend, you know what I mean? You get free shipping and all this crap, so I stock up on stuff. But then it lasts me, you know. I'm all stocked. I have tons of food. I'm going to make my soup today. That's going to last me a month. So I buy stuff and I've spent my money, but I'm all stocked up, you know what I mean? I'm not like I have to do this every week or every month or every 2 months. It's months this stuff's going to last me. So I dwindled my money away, but it's going to build back up so long as I'm cool, as long as I'm careful, and I'm not going to buy clothes. I'm definitely not going to buy any clothes. Or maybe I'll buy one outfit, but I'm not going to buy, you know, a lot of clothes, no. Not going to do that. And I already have Omar's Harka Plus I bought. I took the fleece stuff with me. That's good. I figured if my mom did get Angel back and came back, you know, she can get the damn fleece stuff, have Marion get it or whatnot. As I told you, as I've screamed out here, my mom is close to $60,000, okay? That's Marion's now, of course, and probably will. My mom's probably going to be committed. It's probably over. Like I said, and Marion will sell the house. And she'll get the stuff in there too. She'll get to have it. She doesn't need it. She'll give it to her kids. You know, they already have they had a huge television. It was bigger than the 42-inch, and then her husband wanted an even bigger one. My mom says they have like a 60-inch now or something like that. I don't know. They have a huge TV. Might as well be close to a movie screen. So they definitely don't need the 42-inch TV, my mom's, but she'll give it to her kids. Then there's a smaller TV. She can give that to somebody. Brand new refrigerator and stove. But with the brand new refrigerator and stove coming with the place, you know, she'd probably get a better deal selling it. Oh, and of course the stupid brand new dryer my mom bought when she shouldn't have, when she was sick. I couldn't stop her. I made snide comments from a barricaded bedroom door, though. Like, you're taking advantage of a mentally ill woman, you know, and in the end she couldn't even use it because it didn't fit. This is all making me very ill. Very, very ill. But not physically ill. At least nothing that's manifested itself. Even that time when I had that awful day with my mom, and I thought the first day that I thought was awful and was nothing compared to the next day, but remember the next day I got drunk and then I came home and you know, but that first day that I visited her in there, and I was so depressed. I thought I was getting sick. I didn't. Even when I was at the dentist on Tuesday, I was you know, clear my throat. And the hygienist, the dental hygienist, she's like, are you getting sick? I'm like, I don't think so. I said, I get this little tickle in my throat and whatnot, but it hasn't developed. I got it before and it didn't develop into a cold. I don't think I'm getting sick. I'm doing everything in my power to not get sick. I can't wait to start exercising again. Just want it to get warm out. That's all. No, I hate the cold. I hate it. Remember, I was born and raised here in Massachusetts. Okay? I was born and raised here. And then I came back after I graduated from college, but I came back to stay with my mom and her crazy third husband. Came back because I had no money, and you know, there's like a lot of kids graduate from college, but I was working. I worked at Friendly's. See, remember, in college, in part of high school, I know what it's like to be where it's warm, where it doesn't get super, super cold, okay? No, it does. I don't like these kind of states. I really don't. I want to be where it's warm. But this is the way it goes. And things could be a lot worse. So yes, my friends, my money has dwindled away. It's not non-existent, but I'm stocked up on a lot of stuff. If I showed you my cabinets, if I showed you all my healthcare products, okay? These don't go like that. They last you, you know? That's it. I need to go get more soup. I moved this over, and for all I know, it wasn't even in the camera. Can you imagine? I'd still post it, because who cares? I would post it if it cut my head off. I would post it because it's still my voice, and, you know, these are my things that I just share. For anybody who's interested. You don't have to be interested. You don't have to care. You can... There are people I know, because I blocked one of them once I learned how to block. I was excited. I Googled it, see? It pays to its benefit to be smart. I can figure shit out. I Googled it, and I figured it out. Now I know how to block people, thank God. But in any case, she hated me, and she subscribed to my channel so she could ridicule me, and she used to be able to post comments. I don't stop anyone. I guess you can. It says something if you want to stop someone from subscribing. I don't stop anyone from subscribing to my channel. I don't care if you subscribe to my channel. And if you post negative things, now that I know how to block people, I'll simply block you from doing it again. That's all. But I don't know why anybody would care who's subscribing to their channel. As long as you block them, you'll never know. They can't hurt you, so who cares if they want to watch your videos. But I don't even know if you can do that, but I don't do that. I let whoever wants to subscribe to my channel subscribe. I thought I read something you can stop somebody, but that might be on something else. Well, I don't know what. Maybe it's dating websites where you can stop guys from looking at your profile. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I thought it's YouTube, but I really don't know. That's that. A little more insight into the crazy mad woman, otherwise known as Laura Alice. he lap or pal? Your preference. Your preference, lap or pal. Yeah. Your preference and two sides of the same coin.